Yes, sir. When this thing starts, I try to sign up again. I tell them I want a chance to knock a couple of Jap heads together. I still do it, too. Squash them like eggs, I could. They won't let me fight. Why? On account of this tick in my face. Nothing touched me in that last war. Oh, I got a bit of shell shock. It left me with this. Nobody ever notices it. But that young Dr. Squirt, not dry behind his ears, he turns me down. I don't get it.
I think you ought to know something.
What is it, Zach?
Well, I wish I could tell you. You probably think
I bet I could do better than that. Oh, hello. I thought you were asleep.
No, I've been burning the midnight oil. It's my morale list. It's fun to think that I'm the pinup girl for at least 5 fellows. And it's part of the war effort. I keep up their morale, maybe.
Must be nice to be able to keep up somebody's morale.
Well, I imagine you could write to a lot of them. You know, they just like to get mail from anybody. I mean, you don't have to know them awfully well to... Well, what I mean is that...
When I was 17, I had a little trouble finding the right words, too.
Is Zach stationed here?
Barbara, what I'm in prison for isn't catching.
I'm sorry, Mary. I keep hurting you, and I really don't want to.
Well, I guess it is uncomfortable for you to meet somebody who's been in prison. But maybe when you get to know me, you'll feel differently.
I want to know you, Mary. Really, I do.
How much do you know about me?
Not much. Mother and Dad still treat me like a child. Everything's a big secret.
I don't think it'd hurt for you to know. As a matter of fact, I think it might help. When I was your age, my mother died.
Oh, I remember her. Way back when I was young. She used to make clothes for my favorite doll.
Oh, yes, she was wonderful with her hands. And sometime after that, my father went north on business. And then when he died, I was on my own. I got a pretty good job as a secretary. And my job brought me in contact with a lot of nice men, one of whom might have turned out, I thought, to be the one who would give me all the things that you dream about when you're 20 and lonely. One day, when I was called into my boss's office, he invited me to a party in his apartment. He was single, and I started dreaming. Bosses do marry their secretaries. I took what money I'd saved and I bought an evening dress. I thought it was very fancy. I wanted to look good in front of his high-class friends. He'd sent me an orchid, a white orchid, the first one I'd ever had. I was wearing it. When the door opened, I walked into the biggest apartment I'd ever seen. I thought it was rich and elegant. I'd wanted to impress him, so I got there a little late. I wanted to make an entrance all by myself, but nobody else was there. I should have had sense enough then to get out, but I didn't. He'd been drinking a long time before I got there, I guess, and he kept right on. He told me that he hadn't invited anyone else, and that the White Orchid and all that was just his way of getting me up there. I tried to talk my way out, and then when that didn't work, I made a break for it. I didn't scream. I was too frightened, I guess. I tried to get away from him, but I couldn't. He seemed to be everywhere. Oh, it was all mixed up like some terrible kind of a dream. Once I almost got away when he fell over a chair, but he caught me again and dragged me back. Then I pushed him as hard as I could, and he fell back through the window. His apartment was on the 14th floor.
Oh, Mary, how awful.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you.
No, I'm glad you did. But it's wrong. They shouldn't have sent you to prison.
If I'd been lucky enough to get away before he was killed, then there wouldn't have been any crime. But after all, a man was dead. The jury said manslaughter. Guilty. Well, that meant 6 years.
Please forgive me, Mary.
Oh, Mary, see who that is, will you?
Mm-hmm. Hello? Oh, good morning, Zach. Well, if it's important, of course I can see you. Do you want to come here?
Well, I'd rather not. I hate to keep barging in on your uncle's house. Mary, I want to talk to you about last night, and I need some time.
Well, I have the time, plenty of time. Where do you want to meet?
Well, I asked about here, and they say there's a bus that goes out to the lake. It's pretty out there, and there aren't so many people.
Not so bad, is it?
No.
I told you there was no use wasting any gas. It's only a short walk from here.
I know. You're trying to wear me out before we tee off. I got you.
Hiya, Chuck. How have you been?
Hi. All day, huh?
Fine.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Hiya.
Born in this part of the country?
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Maryland. You get used to Christmas time being cold and snowy.
I don't know, this seems more like Christmas to me than the kind they have back east. I mean, this is more like the country where they celebrated the first Christmas.
This reminds me of a lake I used to go to when I was a kid. Every spring I had a job repairing the boats.